It's coming out. Now, it should sense Tony and start turning slightly to the right. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video and welcome back to Bury BMW, my second home. I actually managed to find Mr. Tony Lewis. Now, before we start looking at the actual spec and going over what the car is that I'm picking up today, I'm a chauffeur by trade, so although YouTube does make some bigger YouTubers a lot of money, at the moment for me, it's just about paying for itself as I go on about a lot on my channel. So my day job, or night job sometimes, mostly, is chauffeuring. Try to keep all of that side of my life a bit private, although I will do a vlog very soon, a day in the life of Joe as a chauffeur, and I'll either use someone like Tony or Aaron or someone and pretend that they're my exclusive client. And January is particularly quiet every year, hence me pumping out lots of content. I've ordered, this is the third one I've had off you.
Third car?
Third 7 Series, yeah. The last one I ordered, it was sort of at the end of the pre-grillgate, right?
Grillgate, yeah.
Grillgate, yeah. I know, Tony can't say too much, but as we all know, when the new grills arrived, it was a bit like, oh. But over the past year or so, they have started to, I've acclimatized to them, and I do see more and more 7s out on the circuit and other chauffeurs with them, the new one. And as with everything, when you start seeing more and more of the new car, the old one starts to age a little bit. As a chauffeur, you've always got to have the sort of latest equipment. So this is a long wheelbase, and it's replacing my similar spec, but my previous one and the one before that was a 740 LD X-Drive. So it was the 3-litre twin-turbo diesel inline-6. This is a single turbo, and it is just rear-wheel drive. So it's quite a bit cheaper as a base spec, but then I've added a few more options that have brought the price up. And because of WLTP, everything's packages now on these things. Not everything, but the majority of things are packages. So in order to get this, I've had to buy 5 things or vice versa. Bottom line is, this is pretty much exactly how I wanted it. The Donington grey colour, I fell in love with that X3M competition, although I thought that car was quite comical. One of the things I really, really loved about it was the colour, and I thought that Donington grey with black really contrasted well, and this looked great on the configurator, and I personally think it looks really, really good in real life. You might recognise this. Obviously, it's TRL Towers, but this is where we filmed the Green Machine, the Verde Hermes M340i, that's actually nearly done 100,000 views, so thank you very much, guys. But it still hasn't, no one's bought it yet, so.
It's a little bit expensive.
It's a little bit
or it could be that I'm holding back because I want to run it as my next demo.
Oh, right. Oh, so what, are you adding like a 0 on the end of each quote? What? That's £1,500 a month.
Sorry, that one's sold, sir.
For those of you that don't know, 7 Series, although this is a 93,000 pound car on the road, there's always big, I won't call them discounts, what do you call them? Contributions.
Contributions is the word we use, yes. Dealer contributions.
Big dealer contributions.
Big contributions.
Big, yeah, really like big. Maybe not that big, that's an exaggeration, isn't it? Right. To be fair, the majority of BMs these days, if you look at the retail price, there's always movement, but with 7s there's a lot, especially if you email Tony, TRL deals.
But that's a good point, because list price has become a sort of something that you just need to ignore from now.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, no one actually walks in with a bag of cash and says, I want to buy a car. So list price isn't what it's about the monthly payment.
Yeah.
95% of our customers take finance. So it's the same with the M340 Tourings. People are looking at it going, oh, it looks very expensive, but you're looking at the list price. You've got to start looking at the monthly payment if that's how you're purchasing your car.
Exactly.
And it's the same with these. You know, they become a little bit more affordable. So.
Yeah, and the APRs on them are pretty low. Yeah, let's have a quick walk around the car, look at the spec. We'll jump inside, just have a look at the luxury that my clients have to deal with on a daily basis, but they get the luxury and then they have to deal with me, so it's a bit of 50-50, I guess. But a lot of people go S-Class, whatever. S-Class has always been top of the game. It still is very, very good, but build quality, drivability, and now rear comfort and suspension technology in the new 7 as we know it is, in my opinion, better than the S-Class. Build quality is on another level in terms of fit and finish, interior. But if you're a Mercedes fanboy, you're always going to argue that point. So that's fine, Raz. But anyway, right, you can take your Mayfair mini cabs and, get out of the way of my grill because it's coming for you. What do we have? So we've got G12 730 LD M Sport trim. It's in Donington grey, as we've already talked about, which is just absolutely stunning. And inside we have ivory white with black lower, exclusive Napa leather. Absolutely stunning in there. In terms of the packs, it has the technology pack. So that is the Driving Assistant Professional, which essentially is the automated drive. So it lets you, it drives along the motorway or wherever you want, I think above 25 miles an hour. You can set the cruise control, and providing there's some decent lines on the road, it will pick them up and the car will literally drive itself. I advise never to leave it in its own hands because obviously it's not completely foolproof. But I tell you what, Steph and I discovered last year going down to Geneva in that 8 Series that if the road's lit well and there's not too much traffic, it is almost a completely faultless system. It's amazing. And it just takes so much stress off you on a long drive. On the M25 as well, when you've got start-stop traffic, it's really great because you can set it and it will literally come to a stop and then start rolling forward when the car in front moves. So you can really sort of de-stress. You just got to keep an eye on everything. It's a bit like autopilot on a plane. You've always got to keep your eye on things, but it takes a lot of the stress away. And they really work now. Early systems, not so much. Remote control parking. If you behave yourselves, I might just demonstrate that at the end. But basically, with a display key, you can control the car forward and backwards, and it will make tiny steering movements as well to fit in and out of a space. I've tried it in Paris with a 7 Series a couple of years ago, and it's brilliant. It does get you out of trouble very occasionally. Head-up display, a must-have for me, especially when I've got a client in the car that wants to go somewhere that I'm not too sure about, and I pretend that I know where I'm going, and I manage to get it into the nav of the car. It's showing me in the head-up display. And they think that I know London like a black cab driver. Reality is I don't. I know West London really well, but obviously there's East London, no idea. So yeah, head-up display for that scenario is great, and everything else, I always go on about head-up display. I think it really is the future. It's fantastic. In fact, the new 8 Series, when you put it in track mode, everything else shuts down. You've just got a head-up display. And I wish, in fact, that you could do that in every car now that's got head-up display. I think at night, why is there not a button that you press, everything dies, and you just have head-up display? It's just how it should be. You don't need any distractions. Things like Teslas, you got like an iMac 27-inch screen staring at you like it's it's madness, absolutely madness. But anyway, no distractions. Technology package costs £3,595. That's a lot of money. But the next one's a lot more. The next one is the rear seat comfort package. That's £6,000. Now, in the past, you could sort of opt for a couple of things separately, but this time, the things that I wanted came with everything else as a package. So, rear comfort seats, we'll look at them in a second, basically mean that they go backwards. They're multiple adjustable seats, a bit like a really good front seat in a BMW 5 or 7. They're like that. They're really, really good, really comfortable. Heat comfort package, so front and rear seats are heated, as you'd kind of expect in a 7 Series. And I've got massage seats in the rear. Again, they're not just your standard massage seats. They've got loads of different settings and loads of different massagers and areas. You can set it to however you want it. So it's a real serious massage function. I've got the TV function plus. I don't know what the plus bit is. What happens? Have I got is it like normal?
Free porn.
I was just about to say terrestrial TV plus porn. And obviously underneath that is rear seat entertainment, BMW Professional. Again, that's just changed for the facelift. It's one of the major changes. To be fair, I've always had rear entertainment in my cars. How often do clients use that rear entertainment? Probably a handful of times in the 2 years I have the cars. So it's all touchscreen now. We'll have a look at that in a second. Then we've got the 20-inch upgraded wheels. So these are £1,200. In the past, with the old 7 Series, you'd never upgrade the wheels because the ride was not that good. But the new one, the ride is really good, and obviously then it just comes down to aesthetics.
They look really nice with the colour of the paint as well.
They do, don't they?
They really contrast well.
I've seen a few of these on the road in London, and I have to say, sometimes I'm like, oh, and other times I'm like, they're £1,200. Sky Lounge panoramic sunroof. Now, I had that in 2 BMWs ago. I didn't have it in my most recent one. I really missed it. Well, I'll look at that in a second, but it's effectively 2 big sunroofs that change color. They're a bit like the Rolls Royce. You've got different, I think it's like 5,000 LEDs in the roof, and they change color depending on which ambient lighting. And honestly, clients absolutely love it. My parents probably love it even more than clients, but anyway, it's really, really nice. Really, really cool function. Sky Lounge is 1,800 quid. It's not cheap, but that gives you an extra sunroof and the LEDs. Sun protection glass, 420 quid. Very important for my clients, but also what is very important, the next one is the sun blinds for the rear and rear side windows. So they come up. They're very good. If you've got paps chasing you, sun protection glass and the blinds up, it's very hard for a pap to get a good picture, a good up the skirt picture through the rear window. So
I guess camera flash goes through the Sun Pro glass normally.
Yes, it does.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
It's not enough. It's hard for people to see at night through there, but with a camera and a flash, it will get through there. So that's really handy. Then we just got trims, fine line, black wood, high gloss, metal effect. That's free. These are all free trims. M steering wheel. You get all these M bits for free because it's an M Sport trim. So that's and then
Joe, they're not really free. It's £90,000 for the car.
Oh yeah. No, Tony, who's the salesman here? Me or you? BMW individual high gloss shadow line with extended contents. I mean, what a stupid name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 words to describe something. But what does that actually mean? Is that all the black trims everywhere? Yeah,
because you've been completely de-chromed, haven't you? So
I have. Yes, I have been completely de-chromed. Yeah, you're 100% right. So all of these, I'm sure some of it is black because it's M Sport.
Bottom of the doors.
Bottom of the doors. Yep. And then around the front, the grille as well. I think the black grille.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of plastic. That must be about 300 quid on its own. So
I think so per grille. Yeah. So actually, it's a bargain. So yeah, on the road, I think it was like 93,000 pounds. But as I say, when you factor in discounts and the fact it's my job, this is not like I can't afford to just roll around like a gangster in a 90 grand 7 Series. I've literally got 2 ends of the scale. I've got a manual M2 competition on slightly stiffer springs.
With normal grills.
With normal grills. And then I've got the latest 7 Series, obviously automatic and drives itself and everything. So it is lovely jumping in this, long journeys, or if I've spent 4 or 5 days at work, I get home. That's why I love my M2 so much, because I get home from work, and although this is a pleasure to drive, you get home and you're just like, I want to go out for a proper drive. So 2 ends of the scale. Right, let's jump in and have a quick look at what it's like to be a client in the back of the car, how much comfort and stuff there is in there. And then I promise I will do a review on this car once I've had it on the road for a few weeks. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it's like in the back. In fact, Tony's making himself very comfortable in there. Do you mind letting me in, Tony? Oh, what's he doing? Tony! Tony! Oh, you left with me. So, what Tony just pressed there is a function that is so cool. Basically, on the little tablet there, you've got a close all blinds. So, press it again, and everything closes. All the rear blinds, the rear one there, and it really shuts down. As you can imagine, clients love that. And I can also operate that from the front. So if we have got paps chasing, it basically is like lockdown. It's like, what's the president's plane? Air Force One. Yeah, this is T-Force One. TRL Force One.
Anyway.
Can
I get on with my paper, please?
Right, so as you can see, in the back there, Tony, what are you, 5'10", 5'11"? 5'10". I mean, there's just acres of space. And it's so comfortable, and the seats are fully electric. As I said before, they're fully adjustable. One of the things that everyone talks about is this cushion at the back of the seat. It's just so comfortable, and honestly, when you're sitting down here at the back, it's really hard to sort of get it across on camera now, but it is just so nice. It's a lovely place to sit and be. These seats have got massage function. They're also memory seats. You can control each individual. So that's the rear blind. And then that's that side, so you can control both sides individually. There's just everything going on. Harman Kardon sound in here, I don't know if I'd mentioned that before. We've got, yeah, all the ambient lighting, so you can control that, or Tony can control that on the back from there. And that tablet easily pops out as well. As you can see, all the controls down there for the seats are just fantastic. And in fact, Tony can control the front passenger seat from there. So yeah, you can bring that back, or in most cases you'd push it forward if you had, you know, if you wanted more space. Thankfully, the person on that side can't control my seat, because that could fundamentally go, yeah, that could end in quite a big accident. These are like beauty lights as well. The ambient light at night is just outstanding, and in fact, we'll just have a look. If you look up at the roof now, hopefully the camera's just about picking up. Obviously, it's really, really bright in here, so you can only just about see. Yeah, you can see around the edges. But when that's dark out there, in fact, let's see if I cover, yeah, there you go. If you cover my hand, you can see there's just thousands of little LEDs. And if you change them different colours to orange, Tony, there you go, look at that. So cool. And honestly, when you're driving around at night, whether you're on your own or whether you've got a client in the back, it is just such a cool, it just gives the cabin a really nice ambiance. I'm gonna now just show you the front seat while I let Tony relax in the back. Yeah, you got your heat seat on still, Tony?
Yeah, it's fine, thank you.
Yeah, nice, okay.
Close the door.
Yeah, I closed the door. Oh, no, of course, what we didn't talk about quickly was the TV.
Oh, yes.
So you've got everything on these now. There are loads of connected services, but there's so much on here. So you can either control it with the tablet, which was the only way of controlling it in the past, or you can control it here. So you can watch the nav, you can put any of music on you want, you can watch any TV, as we've already discussed. And in fact, you can do screen mirroring as well. So if you've got Netflix on your phone, you can mirror it to this and you can watch it through here. And you can either listen to it in the car, or you can plug in your headphones. There's headphone jacks down there to listen to it. Obviously, you've got four-way climate control, or four-way climate zones in here as well. See you later, Tony.
Bye.
So these are soft closed doors as well. So, but the annoying thing with soft closed doors as a chauffeur is what you do is, this happens every single time, even with my regulars. You do this, you soft close it, and you get to about here, and they think you haven't closed it properly. So you turn around and they've opened it and they've shut it like that. And it's really frustrating. But anyway, it is what it is. Okay, so getting in the front here, I mean, this is all the latest operating system 7. You've got the digital dash, the full digital dash now. So the latest display, all the latest graphics is really nice in here. And although it's not radically different to the pre-facelift, the dash is completely new. And there's just a few little things that I've noticed they've changed. But to be fair, everything else in here is just perfect. I've now got a wireless charging bay down there, which I didn't have in my previous car, which is really handy. Because sometimes, you know, you're running USB cords or leads everywhere for your passengers and stuff. So really nice to be able to chuck your own phone in there. What I have noticed is missing is my control and shift vent mount for my phone. Obviously that's gonna come soon. That's another thing. I could do a whole video on stuff that I put in the car for my clients as well, because space and luxury is not enough.
I'm trying to watch Emmerdale.
Oh, are you? Are you actually?
Yeah, well, I was. It's just gone off.
Oh, well, that's great.
It's just cut me out.
So this is what I did a bit earlier. I took the original centre caps off that obviously rotate with the wheel. Yes, look at that. How cool is that? That is actually, that's an M performance accessory, I believe, or is it just a BMW accessory?
Oh, BMW accessory.
It's a BMW accessory.
It's a Nabbenfinishtennenand.
Oh yes. You know what? These were originally given to me by BMW UK to put on my M2, and I had my AC Schnitzer wheels on, so I didn't. And I thought, a little bit gimmicky, but I thought, seeing as new 7 Series, these originally came from Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
I will mount it on upside down, just to be awkward and difficult. There we go, and let go, and woo! Woo! Let's see if Tony's mounted his one correctly. Yes, Tony, look, it's the right way around. How did you do that? Okay, guys, as promised, I'm going to show you the remote parking function on the display key, which is really handy when you come back to your car and some arsehole in their SUV has parked really close to your driver's door. Yes, I could get in the passenger seat and climb across the seats with my dirty trainers, but I really don't want to do that on my brand new 7 Series. But also think of it as, I don't know, concrete pillars either side, or you've got a traditional, fairly old school, small garage at home that's very tight, and in fact, once the car's in, you can't get out the car, or vice versa. Or in my case, when I went to Paris, and there was a very tight space left in this underground car park, I couldn't park the car and get out any of the doors. So the only way I could do it was using this remote function. So although it sounds a bit gimmicky, it does come in handy every now and again. So in order to use it, I hold the side parking button on the key there, and it will come up with to start, engine start. So I press that button, 3, 2, 1, there you go. And yes, there's absolutely nobody in that car. Now, it's just giving me a warning saying basically keep an eye out for your surroundings, because I am responsible for this car. Just because I'm not behind the wheel, I'm still responsible for it, so I'll try not to run over Tony. But just like you do when it self-parks itself, it uses all of its sensors and stuff to detect anything around it. So it shouldn't, in theory, hit anything, but you're still responsible, remember that. It's given me one option, which is to go forward, not to go back, because it's right against the wall at the moment. So let's go forward. So I'll hold my finger down there. It's coming out. Now it should sense Tony and start turning slightly to the right. It should, there we go. Look at that. So it will make small adjustments when it needs to. Now what I'll do is I'll just stop it there. And then if I let go of the key, it should give me an option to stop the engine. There you go. Even straighten the wheels. How good is that for your OCD? And, okay, let's reverse the function. I've just come back from work. Damn, my neighbours are parked so close. They left me no room to park the car. Okay, I'll just have to use my remote parking function. So, car is basically lined up. As we know, it will make small adjustments. Engine start, same thing. It'll give me a warning to keep an eye out for my surroundings. Pressed OK. Now, obviously, it's saying I can go forward or back because there's nothing in front of it, but I'm going to go back. So I'm going to hold the key down, or hold the button down. Obviously, it's going in at a slightly different angle this time because it's can't. So let's see if it makes any adjustments, or if it needs to make any adjustments. No, in fact, it's pretty happy with that. And there you go. I've kept my finger down on reversing, but it's come to a stop because it's right against that wall. So again, now I come off that, release that button, engine stop, and there you go. Really handy, really cool bit of kit, and would come in handy in scenarios that you really need it. On that note, I'm going to go off and get myself a takeaway pizza. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Look, mate, look over there. Look, do you see the fox? Look at that. Still not going. Won't be long until you take over the world. And let me just zoom in on you. Let me just make sure you're in focus. Okay.